I swear it looks like there's 100,000 people in Shenandoah.
Well, there were lots, so we had a very good time.
Howard Johnson tells of a boxcar of suits would come in each year, and that his father sold a boxcar full. And then you say citrus and sometimes fish, and everyone ate pancakes.
Different kinds of. They'd run specials of 5 gallons of gas and a suit of clothes for just a very low price. I don't want to say because I can't remember, but it was very little money.
What an interesting combination.
It was.
Buy a suit and get 5 gallons of gasoline. Well, that's fun. Well, thank you for sharing with us. Was there any crime in Shenandoah or Page County?
I think there was, but you know it wasn't high on the list. I think I was sheltered from it. Truly, I don't believe my mother and father. I think they made a point of not talking about things but there were things. But in my recollection now, I'm thinking, would I open the door to all these men that were coming? Would I put them on my back porch and give them a meal and come out with not everyone asking for money, not anyone ever bothering me, not at all? And here I was, this little girl, 12, 13 years old, not any older than that, and this nice young hired girl that we had going out with this food. We were the two that served them. Never, never. I don't think this could happen now.
I think you're right. What one image do you picture when you think of the Depression?
Well, I believe I think of my father. I think a great deal of how much he worked, and he would get up, and my mother would say, "Oh, no, you're not going again." And he would go, and he knew he would never get a time for where he was going, but this person was ill, and he would go. And he did a great deal of that. And I think it was probably hard on him, but that was his contribution.
Yes, it was. I'm sure he saved many, many lives.
He worked at that. That, and I think the other thing is that I keep thinking of the heat. And my mother would say, I had a driver's license when I was just barely 15, and I loved to drive, and she depended on me. She said, "Go and pick up your grandparents." She said, "I think they're wilted with the heat." And we had more fans at home, and there would be a balanced meal for sure. My mother always had lots and lots and lots of food. And so I would pick them up, and they were always just so clean and neat and so grateful and dear. And yes, they looked a little wilted because it was so hot. It was very hard on the elderly, very, very hard on them.
Did one thing from the 1930s have a profound effect on you and your life?
I think one thing is it made me realize what money was worth. I think we all, anybody of the 30s, we have sort of a mentality of not overdoing, not overspending. We don't want to be tight, but we are careful. I think that's one thing.
What advice would you give young people today about the best way to make it through hard times?
Well, I think probably a budget. A cheerful outlook does help too, and keeping faith in, that your cup is half full and not half empty. That's very important. But I believe a realistic look at what you have, what you can spend, and don't be carried away with a charge card or debit card or so forth. Just follow that budget, and then you'll be all right.
I think that's very sound advice. Do you have anything that you would like to add to this?
Oh, I don't think so. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I have thought of here. I think I said we all learned to dance, and we all learned to play bridge, and this was a fun things. And we had fun progressive parties at home. And I think now how good our mothers were. One would make the maybe a shrimp cocktail, maybe a fruit cocktail or something. Another one do the meat and vegetables. We go on to a salad, then we go to a dessert. Oh, we thought this was wonderful. Well, it was. And we did quite a bit of things like this. We did have good food, things like that. And one thing that just sticks with me and was that time when we had a marathon dance contest here.
Oh.
And it was at the old armory, and I think now it was awful because these people would dance and dance, and then they have a little time off, not much rest, but then they didn't sleep. And how bad for their health. But these were carried on all over the country, these marathon dancers. And it was rather strange, but that sort of sticks in my mind as something. There would be an orchestra that would play a lot of the time, but then of course this kept on during the night and so forth, and they would drop out by couples, so finally the last one, I guess, was the winner.
And what did they win?
I don't know. I don't have any idea what it was. But no, I think I've told you most of the things that I can remember.
Well, I certainly appreciate you coming down and letting us interview you today, and you're a fascinating woman. We thank you very, very much.
It's a pleasure.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Claire Jean.
All right.